Hello, family. Welcome back to the Good News with Truth. I'm your host, Privileged Truth, and we are in Season 3, Lead. Week 1, we established Lead Yourself First. Week 2, we established Lead Under Authority. Now, Week 3 is going to deal with a leadership trap that looks spiritual on the outside, but can still be flesh-led underneath. Week 3, Lead by example, not by volume. And I want to be clear. This message is not, don't speak. This message is, don't let your mouth outrun your obedience. Because in the kingdom, leadership isn't proven by how much you say. It's proven by what you consistently live. Example is proof, not the performance. Let's go to 1 Timothy 4:12. It says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers, in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. That verse is loaded. It says, be an example in word. So yes, speech matters. But it also says be an example in conversation, meaning your conduct, your way of life, your daily movement. So leadership is not what comes out of your mouth. It's what comes out of your pattern. And the reason this matters is because people don't only listen to leaders. People watch leaders. Your family watches you. Your children watches you. Your listeners watches you. Even your enemies watch you. And heaven, of course, is watching you. Listen, light doesn't need to announce itself. You understand? In Matthew 5:16, it says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Notice the order. They see your good works, and then Yahuwah gets the glory. Not because you argued your point perfectly, not because you defended yourself flawlessly, but because our lives carried the evidence. Light doesn't have to fight to be light. It just shines. And I'm not saying a leader never speaks strongly. Don't misunderstand me. I'm saying the strength of your speech is supposed to be supported by the strength of your obedience. Here's a sober reality. Volume without fruit creates distrust. What I mean by that is when words are big, but character is inconsistent, people feel unsafe. Not because they hate the truth, but because they don't know what version of you that they're going to get. One day calm, the next day reactive. One day we're humble, the next day proud. One day you're disciplined, the next day drifting. See, leadership becomes unpredictable when it isn't rooted. That's why Galatians 5 show us the fruits of the Spirit. Because fruit is stability. Fruit is proof. Fruit is also maturity. And fruit takes time. Anyone can sound strong for a moment, but leadership is being steady over time. You have to have a pattern because a pattern is what builds the trust. In Titus 2:7, it says, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. A pattern. That's the word. Not a good day, not a good post, not a good speech. A pattern. A pattern means your life has repetition. Your love repeats, your integrity repeats, your discipline repeats, our humility repeats. And that is what makes us trustworthy. Because people follow leaders they can rely on. You agree? We're not going to follow leaders that have to tiptoe around. I know I'm not. Listen, Yahushua HaMashiach addressed this directly. Matthew 23:3 says, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. See, that's the danger there. The danger of say but don't do. They say and do not. That's the fracture point. And this is not to make us paranoid. It's to make us clean. Because it is possible to preach right and still live undisciplined. It is possible to teach truth and still treat people wrong. It is possible to correct others and avoid the correction ourselves. So this week, the standard for us is simple. Let's let our lives agree with our mouths. Some leaders are loud, and sometimes loud is necessary. But loud is not automatically leadership. Quiet consistency is a form of power. Some of the strongest leaders are not the ones who talk the most. They themselves, they are the ones who are the most consistent. They don't have to threaten. They don't have to prove. They don't have to announce what they are. They just show you. They are steady under pressure, measured in response, disciplined in routine, faithful in private. And that kind of leadership is rare. That kind of leadership is safe. Why does this matter for C.L.A.I.R.S? If you're going to lead in this season, hear me. Your leadership must be trusted, not just heard. So yes, speak truth, but also live truth. Because when your life carries evidence, your words carry weight. Now, this week's leadership assignment. Let's turn it into action. Because we don't just listen, we apply. Number 1, find the gap. Tonight, take 10 minutes and write one honest sentence. Where are my words stronger than my practice? Just one. No shame, just truth. Because clarity breaks deception. 2, pick one trait to model all week. Choose one. Patience, gentleness, punctuality, prayer discipline, integrity, or self-control. Do not announce it. Do not perform it. Just repeat it until it becomes a pattern. 3, let your response prove your maturity. This week, when you're irritated, corrected, or challenged, pause. Take a deep breath. Breathe. Choose a measured response, not silence, a measured response. Because leadership is revealed in the pressure. Then 4, nightly check-in. Before sleep, ask, did my life today agree with my message? If the answer is no, don't condemn yourself. Adjust your pattern for tomorrow. Now let us all pray. Abba, Most High Yahuwah, we thank you for this lead season. We ask you to make us clean, consistent, and trustworthy. Strengthen our obedience. Refine our characters. Remove the hypocrisy. Remove the performance. Remove the desire to be seen more than the desire to be aligned. Teach us to be examples in word, in conduct, in love, in spirit, in faith, and in purity. Let our lives agree with our mouths. Let our fruit match our confession. Make us steady leaders, safe leaders, leaders who reflect you and only you. In your son's mighty name, Yahushua HaMashiach, we claim it all by faith with hope. Let us all say amen, and it is so. Thank you for tuning into the Good News with Truth. Hopefully you'll come back for more next week. Until next time, shalom.